We're going to start with some just gentle rotation, just to gently loosen up our spine. So just rotate, just start with small rotations, your arms just hanging by your side and lifting one heel as you rotate around. So you never rotate on a fixed knee, and then you can start to make the rotations a little bit more. Let your arms just hang and swing with you. This is really nice for just getting the circulation into those muscles that run up and down either side of the spine, also just rotating all the vertebrae. So now we've been lifting a heel, rotate through the heel and lift the toes. So out to the side, then back to the center, and so forth. Looking right the way round, over the other shoulder. Still standing nice and tall. It only takes about a minute, and you really have got a nice bit of rotation. You've warmed up the muscles. You've loosened the spine itself. So we start to slow it down, but still keep either your heel lifting or your toes. So as you bend one knee, you're not keeping that foot firmly on the ground. And then we're going to do a side lunge stretch. So you can be on the floor or on your mat. Have your feet wide, not too wide, not as wide as you'd have for the giraffe, and your toes pointing out. We want to open the inside of our leg. We'll start going over that side. So lunge first. Now what you want to make sure is that knee doesn't come in front of the toes. Use this hand for keeping the knee out, and then bring this arm over, and you're lifting this bottom rib away from the pelvis here to get that nice stretch. Keep the shoulders open at the front, you're not rotating down. And then use your core, not your shoulders, to come back to the center, this arm down. So the first lunge on each side, you have to adjust your feet a bit. So you don't want the knee to go in front of the toes. Use this hand for keeping the knee out. Keep the back foot with the toes pointed out. So you're using your core for stability. Get that nice stretch, lifting the bottom rib away from the pelvis, and then pull in the core and come up to the center. Start with a lunge first and get a slightly deeper lunge each time. And then bring your arm over. So you're keeping lifted in this underneath part of the waist, so you're not collapsing, so keep lifted in the underneath part. Get that nice stretch. So we're just holding it for a couple of breaths each side, coming back to the center using your core. So lunge, keep the knee out, arm over. Come back to the center, and we'll do one more each side. So lunge, knee out, and arm. Each time, so you can go a tiny bit deeper. The back leg is straight, toes pointed out, and then come back to the center. And once more this way. So lunge, a little bit of a deeper lunge. Back leg straight. Breathing into this stretch and come back to the center. So we're going to do the giraffe now, but I suggest you come onto your mat for the giraffe, because it just gives it a little bit more grip, unless you're on a carpet, but it's easy for your feet to slide away on the giraffe. So again, the feet are turned out, so we're opening up the inside thighs. We're coming forward with the flat back, hinging from these hip creases here, and let's just hang in the center. You can adjust your legs, either take them further apart or not quite so far apart, and just get this nice stretch up the inside thighs. Keep the legs straight. And remember, the hips stay where they are. You're not bringing a hip forward. And rotate. I'm going to rotate over my right leg with my left arm coming across. So I'm keeping my left hip back And then I'm taking my right arm up to the ceiling. On the first rotation on each side, don't rotate too far. Just test out the back that it's not too tight. You stay up there for at least one breath, if not a couple. Then bring that top arm down. Walk your hands back to the center, then rotate through the waist over the other leg. I'm over my left leg, but my right hip has stayed back. And I'm bringing my left arm up to the ceiling. I'm using my right hand on the outside of my left leg to get that rotation, not too far as it's the first one on this side. And then I can take it a little bit further each time. So in your own time, at your own pace, do 3 each side alternating. See if you can get a little bit lower and a little bit more of a rotation each time. Relax and breathe into it each time. One more on each side. So you really feel that rib cage turning a little bit more to get that nice stretch. When you've done 3 each side, come back to the center. You can try taking your legs a tiny bit further if you wish. And let's just hang here for a few breaths. So keep your shoulders relaxed, your face soft, no tension in the jaw. Breathe into the back of your rib cage here. Just a nice opening out through the inside thighs, inside of the leg. And then you can heel toe your feet back to hip width apart. If you need to bend your knees to do this, then do so. When your feet are back to hip width apart, pull in your core, work from the pelvis and roll yourself up, getting that pelvis all the way back to neutral, and then the rest of your spine floats on up. So now we are going to do some squats. So this is where your light weights come into hand. So take your light weights. Again, you can be on your mat or on the floor, it's entirely up to you. And take your legs a little bit wider. Again, the feet are pointing out. And we're going to, as we come, we're going to squat, and you're just dropping your bottom right between your legs. Try not to let these knees turn in. Keep the knees turned out as much as possible. And then you come up just to standing. So we're going to breathe in to go down and breathe out to come back up. So breathing in and breathing out. Keep your foot flat. Don't go onto the outside edge of your foot. Breathing in, drop your bottom as far down as you can manage and out to come up. So you're pushing through the heel and your quads, your thighs. And just go down as far as your knees are happy. And then make sure the knees don't turn in as you stand back up. We'll do 4 more. And push through, keep your back as straight as possible. 1 more. And then bring your feet back to hip width apart. So now we're going to do rising onto our toes, and then just going to do some squats from here. So keep those heels together, rise onto the toes. Now keep on those toes and squat and up. Breathing in to come down, breathing out to rise up. 4. I'm going to do 10, 5, make sure the knees go over the big toe, keep those heels together, 6, 7, 8, 9, once more, and 10. Then drop the heels down, and let's just do a little squat with the heels on the floor and stand up. Excellent. Put your weights down, and then we're going to come onto the mat. Actually, keep your weights. We're going to do the hundreds with the weights. So come to one end of the mat, sit down without using your hands, roll yourself back, and get yourself into a good relaxation position before we start. So feet and knees hip width apart, pelvis in neutral. And then we're going to do the hundreds like we did last time, but we're going to use the weights. I'm going to do the full 100. Breathing in to raise the legs, breathing out to lower. So you can do tiny little raises, or you can be a bit more ambitious. Whatever you do, don't arch the back. Use your core to keep your pelvis from arching. So come into your double knee fold and bring your legs together. So keep that knee connection, keep the inner ankle connection. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, roll yourself up, extend the legs and lengthen the arms. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 20. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 30. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 40. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 50. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 60. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 70. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 80. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. 2, 3, 4, 90. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 100. Bend your knees in. Curl yourself back down and hug your knees into your chest. Well done, everyone. Are you ready for this on a Monday morning? And then come out of your double knee fold. So put your weights to one side. And then actually come back into your double knee fold for the scissors. So now keep your knees hip width apart. Point one foot up to the ceiling and the other. Get that nice stretch behind the knee and in through the hamstring. Put your hands wherever you can manage to reach on your on one leg. I've got mine on the left leg. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl yourself up, lower the right leg, keeping it in line with the right hip. And now draw this left leg towards you, keeping straight. Breathe in, bring the right leg up. Breathe out, lower the left. You're staying curled up and you're staying in the center. You're not going towards each leg. Breathe in to bring the left leg up. Breathe out to lower the right. Breathe in to bring the right leg up. Breathe out to lower the left. Draw that right leg towards your upper body. Breathe in to bring the left leg up. Breathe out, lower the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Two more. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Then breathe in, bring the left leg up, bend your knees, and curl back down. Hug your knees into your chest. While we're here, let's do some little circles on the back of our pelvis. Give ourselves a nice little massage. And go the other way. And then come out of your double knee fold. We're going to do the curl ups, the half teaser. So have your, but you just do as many as you want of these. And if you are struggling, do some rollbacks. Have your feet together and your knees together. And take your feet a little bit further away from you, but make sure they can stay flat. It's up to you if you do 6 on one side and 6 on the other, or you do 3 and 3 and then another set. or even if you just do a couple on each side. So I'm going to keep my knees together. I'm extending my left leg. You can either have your arms behind your head to curl up or start with your arms by your side. So we breathe in and we breathe out to curl up. On each set, one side, do a rotation. So whether you do it on the first one or the second or the last, it's up to you. Just do one on each side. We've done some rotation with the giraffe this morning. So I'll leave it up to you how many you do on each side. You're building up to doing 6 on one and 6 on the other, but if that's too much, then break it down. Give one side a little rest and come back to it. Just use your abdominals to curl up and use your abdominals to curl back down. Make sure you come back straight. You don't slightly wobble. I'll do 2 more on this side. Going back down takes as much concentration as coming back up. And back down. So I'm going to swap my legs, try and keep my knees together. If you find that your knees, when you're curling up, you have to slightly lift this leg or lift that leg. That, as long as you're using your abdominals, then that's fine. Just don't use your shoulders. And as you get stronger, you'll be able to keep your legs together more. Some days works better than others, so don't worry about it. Just use those abdominals. Second side's always harder. They're getting tired. 4, I've got 2 more here. And you get just as much out of the going back down as you do coming back up. And last one. I'm going to do my rotation on this side. I haven't done it yet on this side. One arm on the leg and rotate round, and then the other arm. And then pulling in your core, tucking your pelvis under, coming back nice and slowly. Well done, everybody. So let's do our core work now. So if you want to use your mini stability ball or your little blue Trinity ball, then do so. It's always easier to get this ball under the pelvis when you're already lying down, and then you just lift, put the ball underneath, and make sure that your back is tilted. So take time to get it in the right place. So in the center, not off to one side. Make sure your pelvis isn't tilting, so just tuck your pelvis around, not using your buttocks, just using your core, and then come into your double knee fold. So this is a good chance just to check it's in the right place. You shouldn't feel any vulnerability in your lower back. Use this core to stay stable. And we're going to start with a leg up to the ceiling and then lower. Sometimes it takes a couple to get that core really working and back into a knee fold. So breathe in, point your foot up to the ceiling. Breathe out, lower the leg towards the floor. Breathe in, use the core to draw that straight leg back up to the ceiling and back into a knee fold. So continue at your own pace. You can have your arms by your side on the mat to help you, or one arm around your waist. And then you would do a couple of repetitions on each leg and then swap the arm that's around the waist. And then you're building up to having both arms around the waist. So you're not using your arms in any way. And you're going to do 8 of these. So make sure that when you lower the leg, you're using your core muscle to stop the pelvis changing position. It's staying back in its original position, however far you lower the leg. And then you use that same lower transverse abdominal to draw the leg back up to the ceiling. If you start to wobble, if you lose concentration, pull in that core, re-establish your stability before you continue. So once we've done 8 of those, we're going to do like the single leg stretch legs. So you're going to lengthen one leg away from you, draw it back in. So the lengthening is not just opening behind the knee, but it's straightening the leg by lengthening from the top of your thigh. And again, you use that transverse abdominal to draw your leg back in. And we're going to do 8 of these. You can lower the leg, lengthen the leg away higher or lower. So again, you can change. If you're finding to begin with, you can lower lengthen at a lower level, and then you start wobbling, and then lengthen at a higher level. But keep the shoulders relaxed, keep that core switched on. One more on each side, breathing out to lengthen the leg, breathing in to draw back. And then when you've done your 8 of each, come out of your double knee fold. Again, no arching in the back. And then take the ball away and roll your spine back onto the mat. Good, that's a good lot of work on our abdominals. So let's get some work on our legs. So we're going to be lying on our side with our little head cushion. So get your little head cushion, fold it in half, and place the cushion, the folded cushion, between your underneath arm and your ear. Let's move that out of the way a second. So get your body in one straight line to begin with, and then hinging from these hip creases, bring your legs forward. But your body is staying straight, so you're not in a banana-shaped body at all. So keep using your core nice and straight through the front, straight through the back. So then bring your top leg back in line with the spine at hip height. Keep this hip forward, don't let it roll back. I like having my hand here, then I can check it's on its position. Flex the foot and reach that heel away, and you feel this underneath waist lifting away from the mat. Keep that leg lengthening away. Lengthen the leg away as you take it up, and then lengthen as you bring it back to hip height. Make sure the leg doesn't start creeping in front of the body. In fact, if it's slightly behind, that's even better. You should start to feel it in the buttock. You'll also feel it on the outside of the hip. So get to the top and then a tiny bit more, but keep nice and straight through the body. That's 3, 4. So at no point are you dipping your waist into the mat. 5, we'll do 3 more of these. To the top a tiny bit more. 6, 7, and 8. So now point the foot, keep this hip forward, but take the leg behind you. You're not arching the back in any way. Keep the tummy pulled in. Just taking the leg behind you, then you go down to the floor and up to hip height. So in all these leg exercises, the only thing that's moving is the leg. The body stays stable and still. That's 4, 5. The further behind the body you take the leg, 6. The more you'll feel it in the buttock. 7, we're going to do 10 of these. 8, 9, and 10. So keep this core pulled in to protect your back. So now bring the leg back, staying at hip height but in line with the spine. Go down to the floor or the mat, stay along the floor or the mat to take the leg behind, up to hip height, forward in line with the spine. Never comes in front of the body. Down, behind, up, forward, 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 down, behind, up, forward. One more, down, behind, up, forward. Now we'll do it in reverse. So from the hip height, take the leg behind you, go down to the floor, along the floor, back in line with the spine, and up to hip height. Behind, down, forward and up, behind, down, forward and up, behind, down, forward and up, behind, down, forward and up. 3 more. Forward and up, behind, down, forward and up, behind, down, forward and up. And now 5 circles between the hip and the floor, going as far behind the body as you can. And you're going to go in both directions. So just the leg working, the body staying still. It's like you're going around a football, but stay along the floor or the mat on the underneath part of that imaginary ball. 3, 4, and 5. And now bend this knee onto the mat and lengthen your underneath leg in line with the spine. Take the leg just off the mat, but again keep that leg stretched away. Turn the leg up slightly towards the ceiling, so the knee is slightly towards the ceiling. And then using the inner thigh muscles all the way from the inside of the knee, all the way up the inside thigh. We're going to do 8 with the foot pointed and 8 with the foot flexed. It doesn't matter which order. Don't let the leg completely rest onto the mat, just down to the mat but not resting. Keep the leg straight. 2 more here. So you're not transferring weight to your top knee either. You're isolating the underneath leg. So then change foot positions, but still keep the knee turned up and use those inner thigh muscles and the inside of the knee. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and squeeze 8. And now both legs into side chair position. We'll do a side quad stretch. So bring your knee up to your chest, reach the front of your ankle, heel towards your buttocks. Don't take the knee above the hip and draw that knee around. So again, you're not arching the back. So tummy in, hips forward, and you're lengthening your bent knee away from you. Ideally, you're trying to get a straight line through the front of the body and the front of the thigh. If you're very tight and it's in front, take it as much as you can, then release and draw it back again. So if it's very extreme, just release after a bit and then get it back into that stretch. Keep lengthening that bent knee away from you. Keep breathing into this stretch. And then release. So let's come on to the other side, and we'll do that with the other leg. So take a moment to get yourself set up. Your body in a nice straight line. Make sure you stay straight here. And then from these hip creases, bring your legs forward, but don't let this top hip roll back. So you should feel you're right on the underneath hip. If you're uncomfortable on your underneath hip, you can always put a tiny cushion there. So now the top leg in line with the spine at hip height. Keep this hip forward and then stretch the leg away, and you're creating this little space between the waist and the mat. Keep the foot flexed and then stretch the leg as it comes up. Don't let the waist drop onto the mat. Get to the top and a tiny bit more. Keep the legs stretched away as you bring it back to hip height. So we'll do 8 of these. Take to the top and then a little bit more. That's when you really start to feel it in the buttock. Breathing in and breathing out. And up, 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 a tiny bit more. See how high you can go without dropping your waist into the mat. So it's not a quick up and down. You find if you do that, you're just hinging at the hips. You're trying to isolate this, getting into this buttock muscle here. And 2 more. And last one. Up, 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 and back down. So at hip height, point the foot, keep this hip forward, take the leg behind you. Go down to the mat and up to hip height, keeping that leg behind you. Tummy in, that's 2. We're going to do 10 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now back in line with the spine. Now the rectangles, down to the floor, the mat, along the floor to take behind you, up to hip height, forward in line with the spine. So we'll do 8 of these. Each time you're seeing how far you can take the leg behind you, keeping it along the floor, never coming in front of the body. That's 4. So down, behind, up, forward, down, behind, up, forward, down, behind, up, forward, down, behind, up, forward. So back to hip height, in line with the spine. So take the leg behind you, down to the floor, forward, and up to hip height. So again, you're keeping the leg behind the body all the time in this rectangle. Behind, down, forward, and up, behind, down, forward, and up. Keep the body straight. Isolate the leg. Behind, down, forward, and up. Behind, down, forward, and up. 2 more. Behind, down, forward, and up. Behind, down, forward, and up. And now your circles around your imaginary football, between the hip and the floor, scooping along the floor, that underneath part of the ball. That's 3. Keep the tummy in, the body still. 4 and 5, and then reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now bend this knee on to the mat. If you've got a nice stretch, you can give your buttocks a nice rub. Underneath leg in line, more or less in line with the spine. It's not too critical in this one. So now take the leg just off the mat, and 8 lifts from the inner thigh. 8 with the foot pointed, 8 with the foot flexed. Using the muscles from the inside of the knee all the way up the inside thigh. Don't let the leg rest completely on the mat on the way down. Keep the leg straight, as straight as it can anyway. 7, 1 more here. And then I'm going to do a flex foot. Keep the knee turned up towards the ceiling just a touch. Try not to transfer weight onto here. But use the inner thigh muscles of the underneath leg. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So both legs in side chair position for your side quad stretch. Knee up to the chest, reach the front of your ankle, heel towards your buttock. And then take this bent knee. But don't arch the back, tummy in, hips forward, and just lengthen your bent knee away from you. And we'll breathe into this, keep lengthening that bent knee away. Take the knee a bit further behind you without arching the back in any way. Couple more breaths here. And then release. Excellent. Take your head cushion away. Come to sitting up. And we're going to do the backward leg kick, which I know we did last week. We're going to do it again this week. We're going to do a couple of kicks on each leg. So keep the legs hip width apart. Put your hands behind your lower back. Keep the arms straight and nice straight body. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift. And now we're going to do one kick and then 2 kicks on one leg. 1 and 2 kicks on the other leg. And then lower your body down. And then take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift. And then do 2 kicks on one leg. Keep that pelvis lifted and level. 2 kicks on the other leg. Keep the arms straight as you lower your body down. Then bring your arms around and we'll do some wrist circles. Now, if you find the 2 kicks is too much, just do 1. If you find the kicks are too much anyway, don't do the kicks, just lift. Because you're working your triceps anyway, so the legs are an extra. So let's do another set. So nice shoulders away from the ears, tummy in, take a breath in and breathe out and lift. 1 kick, 2 kicks, other leg, keep the pelvis lifted and level and lower. Take a breath in, breathe out and lift. 1 kick, 2 kicks, 1 kick, 2 kicks and lower. Come off your wrists and do some wrist circles and some fist clenches just to release those forearm muscles. Even if you don't have any discomfort, do this just to release the tension. And then we'll do 1 more set. Just do it at your own level, however you feel comfortable. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift. Keep those arms straight, pelvis lifted and level. So don't let one side drop. 2 kicks on each leg and then lower. And then 1 more. Take a breath in. Breathe out and lift. 1 kick, 2 kicks, 1 kick, 2 kicks and lower and come off your wrists. There's a few more wrist circles, clenching and flicking. Good. Okay, so I hope you felt that last week because it's nice strengthening for the back of the arms. It's also strengthening the buttocks because when you lift one leg, the other leg and that buttock is having to support your weight. So you're actually getting a lot out of this exercise. So we'll do some nice opening up for the shoulders. So we'll do our chalk circles. So you need to have enough cushions that when you're lying on your side, your head doesn't flop back down. So if you've got all the props, I use a yoga block, which is 2 inches, and then a 1-inch head cushion, which means that mine is about 3 inches, then my neck stays in line. So with the chalk circles, again, you can use a light weight, but only if you don't have a shoulder problem. So get yourself set up to lying on your side. So your legs are in chair position. This underneath shoulder is away from your ears, and you've got your arms stretched out in front. So you're going to keep a long body through the front and the back. Drop your head and then move the cushions so that literally your head is on the front of the cushion. And then I'm going to have my weight. So we're going to do, we've done these before, so let's just do them at your own level. We're going to do 6 on each side. So keep the face soft and the jaw relaxed, and keep your head just rolling on the cushion. Keep the knees together. Remember, to begin with, you might not be able to reach down to the floor if you're very tight. So just take your arm up at a level, even if it's up here. Sometimes you need to bend your arm and then reach around with the elbow until you can straighten your arm. But what anyone can do is when you come over here, you can reach right in front of your hand here. So you get a lovely stretch between your shoulder blades at the back. So the knees stay together, the feet and legs stay on the mat, and you're lengthening the top hip away from the knees. So just keep it flowing, keep your head just rolling on the cushion, keep your face soft. If you want to do less circles but get this nice stretch, when you find you've got a really good stretch, especially at this particular point of it, then you can always hold that for a breath or two. If you do these in your own time, you can do that too. It's such a good exercise for keeping that mobility in the shoulder joint. I think I've done more than 6, but I'll do one more. Opening out across the front of the chest, especially good for people who've had breast surgery. But a lot of people who work in situations where you're huddled over something, it's really good for opening out the front of the chest. So then when you've done 6, or roughly 6, get yourself set up on the other side. Take time to get yourself set up. So you want to make sure that your underneath shoulder is away from your ears. Nice long body. Get my weight. And then I start my circles. In fact, I'm just going to push these cushions a bit further behind. So if you've literally got most of the cushion behind you, you've got this lovely sense of space. A bit tighter on this side. When you roll your head, you don't feel like you're about to roll off it. Keep following that movement as much as you can with the head. And then just open out, keeping the knees on the mat, but lengthening that top hip away from the knees. And there's never any arching in the back, so keep your tummy in, your rib cage in. And already it starts to feel slightly looser. So if you've got one side that is tighter, you can do a couple more. And I'll do one more on this side. Again, you can always just pause at that point where you get a really good stretch. And then definitely get this stretch here, which is lovely. Good, so those are the chalk circles, which we haven't done for a while. And then we're going to do the leg stretches with the band. So get hold of your band. So you're going to get your normal head cushion, so you won't need as much as you had beforehand. In fact, I don't need a head cushion. But again, you don't want your head tilting back, so whatever head cushions you use, when you've got your head on the mat or on the cushion, you should feel that you've just got a straight line behind your neck. You're not tilting back or tilting forward. So let's start with the right leg. So wrap the band around the ball of the right foot. And then you can use the band for drawing the foot down towards you. One end of the band in each hand. Pelvis resting on the mat, the left foot and knee in line with the hip. Keep my shoulders relaxed and just use the band to encourage my right leg up in the direction of my right hip. Foot is flexed, reaching away through the heel, using the band to draw the front of my foot down. These bands, medial bands, are quite strong, so you can have a good sense of resistance on them. And breathing and relaxing into this. Keep straight behind the knee is really important. Now, working from the outside of the right ankle, turn the sole of your right foot in. And then if you need to increase the stretch, you take the leg an inch or so across the body, but keep straight behind the knee. So the outside edge of your foot is up to the ceiling. So you're getting that nice stretch on the outside of your ankle, goes down into the outside of the lower leg. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep your face soft. And now, because we're on the right leg, take both ends of the band in your right hand, point your right foot and take the right leg out to the side away from you and relax this bent knee out in the opposite way. So you want to have your right leg pointed and the leg turned out slightly from the top of the thigh. I get a good stretch with my foot down towards the floor, goes right up into my pelvis, into my pubic bone, but you might want to just keep the leg higher but draw it up towards your right shoulder. So work out where you get your best stretch. It's getting on the inside of the thigh, right the way up into the pubic bone for me, right the way into my right hip and my right groin. Watch your wrist alignment on the right side, so you've got a straight line between the back of your right hand and the back of the right forearm. And just get a nice stretch on the inside thighs here. Now bend your right knee when you bring the leg back above the hips, you're not arching the back in any way, and then bring your left knee back up in line. So both ends of the band into your left hand now, back to a flexed right foot. Don't let the right hip come off, but isolate the right leg across the body. Keep straight behind the knee, and breathe into this stretch for a couple of stretches, couple of breaths. Getting a nice stretch the back of the hamstring, the back of my right calf. And now relax your bent left knee out of the way and slowly let the right hip off the mat. So you're aiming for your right leg to be parallel to the floor, but your right shoulder to stay where it was on the mat. You can always turn your head in the opposite way to your legs, over towards your right shoulder. And we're going to stay here for quite a few breaths. Just really relax into this. Let the band support your leg. Keep your face soft. Wherever you've got any tension, visualize your breath into that area, just visualizing it releasing. So make sure you're not holding on to any tension in your right leg. Let the band support it. And just keep breathing. Keep reaching away through the heel. Keep straight behind the knee. And now bend your right knee right into your chest. Use your core. Get your back on the mat from the top to the bottom. Never any arching in the back. And then let's swap legs and bring your left leg into the band. Making sure the band is around the ball of your foot. Drop your right foot down in line with the right hip. So back to holding the band, one end in each hand. Flexed left foot straight behind the knee. Elbows relaxed on the mat so you don't start bringing tension into your shoulders. And we'll stay here for a few breaths, relaxing into this, using the band to encourage your left leg millimeter by millimeter up towards the hip. And now, working from the outside of your left ankle, turn the sole of your foot inwards, keep straight behind the knee again. And then if you need to increase the stretch, take the leg across the body. The hip doesn't come off, it's just the leg. But as you take the leg across, keep the leg straight behind the knee. And now take both ends of the band in your left hand. We're going to take the left leg out to the side away from us, pointing the left foot, turning the left leg out slightly from the top of the thigh, relaxing the bent right knee out, and then experiment where you get your best stretches. I'm going to take my left foot towards the floor, and then I get a nice stretch right up into my front of my left hip, into the pubic bone. Just watch your wrist alignment on the left side. Keep the left leg turned out and pointed. And now bring that left leg above the hip, but bend the knee so you're not putting any strain on the lower back. And then straighten it again and bring the right knee back up in line too. So now both ends of the band in your right hand, back to a flexed left foot. Put your left arm by your side, keep your shoulder on the blade on the mat. And first of all, just isolate the left leg across the body without the left hip coming off. Keep straight behind the knee, reach your way through the heel. Let's breathe into here for a couple of breaths. And now relax your bent right knee out of the way and slowly let that left hip come off, but keep this left shoulder blade where it was on the mat. If you have your palm down, it helps stabilize that shoulder. You can turn your head the opposite way to your leg, so over towards your left shoulder. Watch your wrist alignment on the right side, reaching away through your left heel. Make sure that you're not tensing that left leg. Let the band support the leg. And breathe into here for a few breaths. So really keep your body relaxed. If you want to increase the stretch, you just draw your left foot in the direction of your right shoulder using the band. A couple more breaths here. Now to come back to the center, bend the knee right into your chest. Use your core, get your back on the mat, top to the bottom. And now you can take the band away from your foot. And then come to sitting. Lengthen one leg and the other leg, hands on your thighs. Roll yourself up. And come into a cross-legged position, or any position that you're comfortable sitting. If you need to have a yoga block, if you don't like sitting straight on the mat, if it's uncomfortable for your back, or you're feeling tension in your thighs, then sit yourself on a yoga block. So you can either come into a full cross-legged position or a half cross-leg, or any position that you are sitting comfortably without tensing in your back or your thighs. And we're going to finish with some neck rolls. If you can get into a cross-legged position, it also definitely opens out these hips. So putting one hand on each knee, that just keeps the shoulders relaxed, keep your face soft. And then roll your neck, all 7 vertebrae, so your chin is going towards your chest. You're not leaning forward, just let your head hang here to get that very gentle stretch through the back of the neck and into the upper back. And then turn your head to look over one shoulder. See how far you can turn your head. And then lift your head up more than back. Stretch it up as you turn your head to look over the other shoulder, turning around as far as your neck will allow. And then your chin comes back down to your chest and the center. So we're going to do 5 of these in each direction. Your eyes can do the same rolling, following the same circle as the neck, either with your eyes open or with your eyes closed. But keep your jaw relaxed. Keep sitting tall, carefully don't start to sink into your spine. And don't be too quick with these neck rolls, but just keep it flowing. Again, if there's one point that's very tight, you can always stop at that point and just breathe into it and hold it for a couple of breaths. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And when you've done 5 in one direction, then reverse the circle. But the shoulders stay absolutely still. You're just isolating the head and the neck. You can do the same movement with your eyes to work your eye muscles. And I'm going to do one more. Don't worry about the crunching. I'm afraid that's just par for the course at our ages. So bring your chin back to your chest. Again, just let your head hang here for a couple of breaths. Keep your face soft, your jaw relaxed. And then restack your spine from the base until you're back to your starting position. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you